Hi guys, welcome to this very short pencast on the deconstruction of a demand shift. I just want to take us behind the scenes. Alright, so what do I need to talk about first? I need to talk about the model of demand. So what do we know about the model of demand? Well, we know that the quantity demanded is a function of the price of the product. Let's say our product is product X. And there are those other demand variables like income, like population. There's a whole lot of them, so I'll just use those dots to represent those others and just close it off. Alright, so let's go and draw the market model for our product X. That's supply, that's demand, there's the equilibrium price. The quantity willingly demanded equals the quantity willingly supplied. We'll call that P1, and we'll call that Q1. Alright. Now, I'm going to tell you that the incomes of consumers go up. Now, how are we going to model that? Well, what we're looking for is the initiator of change. Now, that initiator can't be the current price, can it? That current price is fixed at P1, so that can't be the initiator of change. Yes, you're right, it's got to be income that's the initiator of change. But what you can see is that we haven't got income on our diagram. The income is not down here, the income is not down up there. So how are we going to accommodate income? Alright, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to deconstruct this diagram. How am I going to do it? I'm going to just temporarily remove supply because the supply schedule is not changed. There's no mention about supply changing whatsoever. Only the incomes of consumers have gone up. So let's get into a bit of deconstruction. Just parking that there for easy reference. So here's our demand curve, and here's the current market price, P1. Now, that is initially not going to change, or that's not going to be the initiator of change. That's why I sometimes refer to it as being fixed, because it can't initiate change, because it itself is not changing. So it's got to be incomes. And what we know is that at each and every price level, there's going to be an increase in the quantity demanded. So how can we show that? There's only one way that we can show that is if we shift the demand curve out to there. And so what we can see at each and every price level, the demand has increased. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the supply curve back in. So I'm reconstructing the market. There's the supply curve. Now, how is it that the market price goes from here and ends up being here? That's the question. How do we go from here to here when the demand curve shifts? Well, look, initially what happens is that at that price P1 we end up with a shortage, because that price P1, given the shift of the demand curve, what you can see is that this line I'm drawing in here represents the quantity demanded. At this price P1, what's going to be supplied? It's going to be this quantity, QS. And what we can see is that the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied, so we have got a shortage. So how is the market going to respond? Well, you know how it's going to respond. Those people that are short of the product are going to demand more, aren't they? Suppliers will supply more, and so what we'll find is that shortage gets smaller. Again, we'll demand more, we'll supply more. That shortage gets smaller until eventually we arrive at this point here. And that's where the quantity willingly supplied equals the quantity willingly demanded. We say that the market clears at that point. So, can I summarise? Well, yes I can. I'll just move this out of the way. So, for me, what I was talking about in the Thursday class is just making sure that you understood that the initiator in all of those scenarios that I came up with was not the price of the product being demanded. PX, if you like, was initially unchanged. It was the other variables of demand. That were initiating the change, and the change was either shown by a shift of the demand curve or shown by a shift of the supply curve, depending on the scenario. Alright, well, I'm going to put you to the test. I'm going to throw another scenario at you and just see how you cope. Can I move this one around? Yes, I can. Okay, pack this one up over here. Alright. So just thinking on my feet, so here's our product, let's call it product Y. Here's the supply and here's the demand. Now, what's going to happen? Okay, I'm going to say to you that the input costs of producing product Y have gone down. So input costs have gone down. Now I've said nothing about demand. And I've said nothing about the price of the product being supplied. In other words, I've said nothing about P1 changing. So what's the variable that's going to initiate the change? Well, it's not going to be this. It's going to be the input costs. With the input costs coming down, this price staying the same, it means that the profit is going to go up. At each and every price, suppliers are going to want to supply more. So let's move out that supply curve. Alright, well what's the initial situation? Well, I'll just extend this price line out here. And what I'll do is I'll change colour so we can keep track of it. So initially at P1, this is going to be the quantity supplied. And this is going to be the quantity demanded. So we've got the opposite of what we had before, haven't we? We've got the quantity supplied is initially greater than the quantity demanded. So we've got a surplus. So, what's going to happen? Well, suppliers are going to lower their price. Oh, sorry, wrong curve. Suppliers are going to lower their price. And as a result of that, consumers are going to be walked down their demand curve, aren't they? They're going to buy more with the price coming down. So that surplus has got smaller. Again, what's going to happen? Suppliers are going to lower their price. Consumers are going to be walked down their demand curve. And that surplus is going to get smaller until eventually we arrive at this point here. That's the new equilibrium point. The equilibrium point has moved from here to here. So I'll just put it down in here, P2, Q2. How's that? Does that give the insight? I hope it does. If it doesn't, then just get me before class or after class. I'll catch you later. Bye.